Making music since the early 2010s has allowed Young Thug to perfect his craft, developing his sound from being a watered down Lil Wayne to one of the most original artists of our lifetime. Love him or hate him, Young Thug has become the blueprint for modern day rap, and this video will show you each component that makes him so influential. What better place to start than with his sound? Like I mentioned, in the earlier years of Thugger's career, he wanted to sound like Lil Wayne, due to him being the artist that made him fall in love with words. As his career came along though, Thug would sound less and less like Wayne, reducing the importance of lyricism and focusing on the melodic side of his rap music. Something that wasn't yet popular at the beginning of last decade. Whilst you can now find the sound everywhere, this new style of trap music can be easily traced back to Young Thug, mainly for revolutionizing how hip-hop artists can use their voice.
Do you smoke gas? No way? When you smoke gas? What I say? You better listen to it.
Whilst auto-tune was certainly around and had been used in hip-hop prior to Young Thug, no one would master the tool quite like him, as the artist learned to use auto-tune and his voice more as an instrument than anything else. Lyrics had become an afterthought for Thug, as you could either hardly understand him or he was saying a whole lot of nothing.
I used to wanna fuck my auntie.
And back then, this was looked down upon, as the lyricism of hip-hop artists was the main attraction of the genre. Just have a look at some of the most popular rap artists today. Playboi Carti, absolutely no one is listening to him for his lyrics, and a lot of his style includes playing with the pitch of his voice, with the infamous baby voice being a highlight of Carti's career. Something that Thug had already done in previous years. What's more is that Carti was rumoured to have his album directed by Swamp Izzo, an artist famous for collaborating with Young Thug on tapes like I Came From Nothing. Yeat is another artist who doesn't care about lyricism. In fact, everything about Yeat's style can be traced back to Thugger, which makes perfect sense as Yeat has stated that Jeffrey is one of his biggest influences.
When I got a little bit older, like Thug, Future, like you could tell Thug.
I could tell the Thug, but where did you get this style from?
Just like definitely like Thug. And I feel like I just like the way that like Thug could go on a beat, like a random ass beat, and then just like do something crazy like.
From the flow to the extraterrestrial ad-libs and the instrumental use of auto-tune, Yeat is the perfect example of Thug's influence. But it's not just the newer generations that Thug has inspired. In fact, this revolution within rap music had a lot of already established artists wanting to sound like Jeffrey. Take Drake for example. As an artist who used to place a lot of emphasis on the lyrical side of his music, he's had to evolve to keep up with the mainstream over the years. And where did that leave him? Making music that's been inspired by Young Thug, especially in the past couple years, and when working with fellow Atlantan artist 21 Savage. Thugger himself believes that he's influenced both Drake's
flow on that song. I'm like, yo.
Did you guys spend time in the studio together, or you just sent out the...
You had to. I said Thugger inspired that flow. Had to.
Probably did.
And J. Cole's flows through working with them in the studio.
You know who also flow? I think you inspired J. Cole flow on that album too.
Yeah, definitely. I kind of just heard it. It's like, yo, I definitely inspired. He sound just fucking like same cadence, same subject,
same everything.
And that's big because I know you.
Both new and old generations have embraced Young Thug, which can be seen when Kanye West handed him the aux during one of his Yeezy seasons, allowing Thug to preview some of his unreleased music. Childish Gambino is another one who's utilised Jeffrey's iconic ad-libs and backing vocals, which led to the artist winning a Grammy for the song This Is America. Jeffrey Williams really shook the industry up. With the release of Barter 6, Thug's first commercial project, the artist had a chance to showcase his sound to a much larger audience, as opposed to only being big in Atlanta. And the rest, as they say, is history. Young Thug would continue to develop his sound, dropping genre-defying albums every so often, laying out the blueprint for the younger generation to prosper. But his influence didn't end with just music.
Every time I dress myself, it go more.
As we all know, Young Thug is known for breaking boundaries. Like we just talked about, he completely changed the expectations for how hip-hop music can sound, but he also changed how the industry looks too. In 2016, Thugger infamously wore a dress on the cover to his Jeffrey mixtape, a decision that went viral throughout the world of hip-hop, with some fans questioning the choice, to say the least, and others applauding the artist for breaking down fashion barriers within the genre. Now, Thug has never been averse to wearing things out of the ordinary, as he was also pictured wearing a Gucci dress the year previous for a magazine cover. And whilst he's not the first male artist to place an emphasis on his genderless fashion sense, it is far from common within this particular industry. An industry rife with homophobia and sexism. Similarly, it was another artist from Atlanta, Andre 3000, who was one of the first rappers to begin progressing the genre to where it is today. Whilst Young Thug would endure a mass amount of hate for wearing these wacky outfits, other artists would actually slowly begin to become inspired by him, with Thug allowing these newer artists to be themselves, encouraging them not to abide by the boundaries of rap music and wear what they feel is right. Just look at Lil Uzi Vert. He is the definition of an artist that has been inspired by the style of Young Thug. From his controversial outfits to his genderless identity, the artist is constantly in the headlines for messing with some part of his style. And whilst it still isn't completely accepted, without Young Thug, Lil Uzi Vert would face a lot more backlash. The artist even went through a period where he would dress identically to Thugger, as he produced an album that paid homage to the incarcerated rapper. The abstract nature of Young Thug's dress sense gave him the title for being hip-hop's most progressive artist, but as we all know, he's unfortunately been caught in legal battles for the past couple years, meaning his successors have had to carry the torch. You see, Young Thug has the ability to spot a superstar before they actually become one. Like the time he paid Lil Baby to pursue his music career and get him out of the hood.
Like, Young Thug, like, he gave me all the jewels. Like, it's times, like, Young Thug really, literally, like, paid me to leave the neighborhood. Like, bro, you can rap, you got it, I'm telling you. Like.
Which is exactly why Jeffrey's creation of YSL has been one of the more successful business decisions that we've seen from a rap artist. The record label was founded in 2016 and has signed several notable artists like Lil Keed and Gunna. But Young Stoner Life is so much more than just a label. There is a countless number of artists that pledge allegiance to YSL, showing just how respected the artist is in the industry. On the label's Slime Language tapes, artists like Future, Travis Scott, and Drake all feature on the project, allowing Thug's influence to be seen all over the rap game. Sadly, however, the label's been in turmoil over the last couple years because of legal troubles, which have actually seen Young Thug arrested. But through the artist's work over the last decade and through the blueprint he set out for other artists, his influence is continuing his legacy whilst he's locked up. And whilst we don't know the full truth about Thug's relationship with Gunna, it seems the YSL signee is doing everything in his power to keep Jeffrey's name alive.